Oh,
Hi,
it's time.
I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile, and welcome to GGG Live. We have massive changes to show you today with Path of Exile Curse of the Allflame, which is coming out next week on July 25th. Twitch drops are enabled on today's
By the way, how's
live
the audio level?
so you'll be able to claim your Abyssal Soul Shatter rare finisher effect by following the instructions below. Let's not keep you waiting though. Roll the trailer for Path of Exile Curse of the Allflame.
Roger. Roll trailer.
The Allflame
that's two boats.
us to the sea. To a lost wreck that still draws ghostly breath.
We got submarines. That's 3 boats,
A
technically.
curse down below. With
Dead
my
man
lanterns,
sulfur.
We can explore the sea floor. We must find the source
And we're
of
going
the
for
Allflame
ducats.
before the brine rot.
I'm so excited.
Somewhere in the blackest depths,
We got
bounty
summoning circles.
and death await.
Oh shit. We're hacking? His temple all over again. That's kind of what I was thinking of, but it looked a little different. Legion improved, IO. Vestigial uniques? And mercenaries? Are they back? Oh, they're getting anomaly maps from PoE2. That shit looks sick. Whoa, was that a third? Was that a third Scion
In the
ascendancy?
depths of the sea.
That was a lot of shit really quickly. About to do some illegal shit with mercs for real.
In today's stream, we'll be walking you through all the details of Path of Exile Curse of the Allflame, where you'll comb the ocean floor discovering sunken artifacts of forgotten origins, fight the horrors of the deep, and do your best to keep from being crushed by the waters above you. We're revisiting some familiar mechanics to bring
Totem
new
Loading
life to
Delve Master
systems that have
login,
begun
kinda
perhaps to
Delve
show their age.
looked a
Abyss
little,
and Legion will both be receiving
It
significant
did look a
upgrades,
little reminiscent,
including
yeah.
a new pinnacle boss for Abyss and a new chase crafting system for unique items in Legion. In addition to revamps of the existing leagues though, we're also bringing back some old friends. The Mercenaries of Trarthus are making their way back to Rayclast. Then we'll explain our new
Re-enable
endgame
lightning
system.
ore mines?
We will join Kirak in investigating anomalies appearing on the Atlas. After that, we'll discuss the character and skill balance coming in Curse of the Allflame. Finally, we'll cover a new
Socket
set of
colors
supporter
reworked.
packs,
What the fuck was
after
that?
which we'll have a live Q&A session where Ziggy D will interview Path of Exile's game director Mark, as well as game designers Octavian and Andrew, answering your questions from Twitch
We got
chat.
3 people on
After
the
the
couch
live
this
stream,
time.
we'll drop the full patch notes at 11 AM NZT. So
Although I
let's get
guess-
started. I'll hand things over to Mark to introduce the new league.
They had 3 last time
Hi,
too, didn't they?
I'm Mark Roberts,
Hi, Mark.
Game Director on Path of Exile. In Path of Exile Curse of the Allflame, a long-forgotten mystery has begun to stir beneath Rayclast seas. Hidden in the icy depths lie strange and immensely powerful treasures, waiting for those bold enough to claim them.
It's me.
Meet Valerie, a dangerous Corsair
Hi.
captain who needs boots on the ground and on the sea
Oh, she's
floor
got an otter.
to help her retrieve these treasures and unlock their potential. This is where you come in, to help her find the charts scattered across Rayclast. Then, use those to guide her ship to the patch of brine that holds loot for the taking. In return, you'll get a cut of the profits. These lost charts are guarded by the undead, rival Corsairs, or horrible creatures of the deep. Each of these monster encounters will also have a custom bonus for defeating the enemies.
What the hell is that ability on
For
right
example, successfully defeating the accursed undead that guard this treasure chest will cause the grateful trapped soul inside to grant you its
Yeah,
power,
I wasn't ready for that.
possessing you and granting you ghastly power for the rest of the area.
Wait, we're just getting free
Once
ghosts?
a chart is in hand, you'll board the good ship, the Sovereign.
Oh, that's Reeve. Okay.
Valerie, or Val's, reappropriated Oriathan naval vessel. Here, Val
me, who's never
introduces you
used
to the
Reeve before.
heart and soul of her ship. Quite literally. Vesper, another Pondium native like Val, is bound to this ship. His soul burns with the Allflame's curse, and were his comatose body to be removed from the ship,
Oh, he's just
he
a
would
little guy.
surely die. The silvery apparatus that lines the bows and eaves of the vessel allow him to steer the Sovereign anywhere in Rayclast's waters. Using the chart you've brought, Vesper can navigate to a location so you can scout it for Val, and while doing so, claim whatever treasures there might be.
Logbooks,
How, though,
but
will you
cool.
avoid
Is that
a
what we're
watery
doing?
grave once sunk below? Vesper controls a spark of the Allflame, a powerful and mysterious magic, which has been imbued into a number of devices aboard the ship. Chief among them, the bathysphere. This
using
entirely
it last
safe
week for the
and
first time.
well-tested
Or
contraption
Ben
of
was using it
rivets,
for Turbo BS, I
bolts,
think
and
it's-
metal will be your ticket beneath the waves to explore and plunder. While scouting the depths, in order to not need an ample supply of air, we're instead going to place Allflame lanterns. These are conduits of the power that keeps Vesper alive and bound to the ship, and give you the temporary safety you need to do that exploring. Without them, you will drown.
I wonder if you can actually
The
die
first
from
of these
that.
is strapped to the bathysphere and activates on landing, rushing the water away to
ZTPS,
reveal
that's
horrifying
cool.
monstrosities,
I wasn't gonna
lost
say it,
treasures,
but I was
and a
definitely thinking it.
strange luminous coral growing from the corrupted dead in the oceans of Rayclast. These strange growths are the real reason Val has asked you to plumb these waters, as the coral
There's
can
a
be
sick
broken
MTX.
down into dead man sulfur, the fuel that keeps Vesper's light burning. As you get to the perimeter of the safety provided by an Allflame lantern, Val will drop more down at your request.
This really is looking like
There's also an option
logbooks,
available
but
to
cool.
have new lanterns fired automatically for you as soon as you need them.
yeah, we
If you
got
prefer
QOL
speed
before
over
the league
fine
came out.
control.
Let's go.
Explore and claim what you can while you can. Lost fortunes
That
of gold,
expedition.
chests of valuables, and
That might be
lurking
the- that
threats
might be the
all
phrase,
lie in
yeah.
wait for you beneath the waves. You might even find the odd lost
Your
missive,
message in a bottle.
waylaid on its travel to its intended recipient.
Okay.
But hey, finders keepers, right? Beware though,
maritime law or
as Vesper
something,
can
yeah.
only power so many lanterns at once, and that power is finite. On placing the last of your lanterns, they will begin, one by one, to flicker and fade, and the creatures of the deep will rush in as they sense the vanishing of the light.
Uh-oh.
You'll have to rush back to the safety of the bathysphere, escaping the cold clutches of creatures that despise the light you bring.
See, I guess
You'll
you
want
can
to place every
actually
lantern
drown.
down, as exploring to collect enough dead man sulfur is the only way to successfully chart the
There's a
area
lot
for the
of gear
next
with white
step,
sockets laying around.
planning a voyage. Val will keep a record of the areas you've charted, storing details in her journals. Once you've charted enough areas, just talk to Val, place your charts on Val's board, connect them together, and create one giant seafloor excursion. Each area you chart will reveal a special modifier that applies when it is used as part of a voyage, applied to either the charts adjacent to it or the whole voyage. Here are a few
Yo,
examples.
friendly jellyfish.
This
Those are
modifier
my
causes
homies.
all equipment dropped by monsters in
do we
adjacent
get a
charts
jellyfish build?
to be
I'll play
converted to
it.
gold. This modifier will spawn friendly jellyfish alongside every pack of monsters in
Those
your
are
voyage,
Crab
which
jellyfish.
you will promptly slaughter for extra loot and experience
kill
for
them?
sure.
Bro.
This modifier causes all monsters in adjacent charts to be empowered by wildwood wisps. With 9 positions on your board for charts when constructing a voyage, these can stack up fast.
Yeah, that's a
There
lot
are
of wisps.
also charts which can take you to specially rewarding areas of the ocean floor. Fields of anchors strewn with treasure chests full of loot, Calguran shipments lost at sea, and
that's
sunken
where my
abyssal
boats went.
pits teeming with monsters, to name just a few. There are even some ancient artifacts you might find and resurface. Additionally, the edges of the voyage board track the currents of corruption flowing through the waters of Rayclast, with randomized effects being rolled with each new voyage to affect the charts placed adjacent to them.
Dang.
These add even further rewards to your voyages, and can shake up the way you choose to place your charts. Stack all
wonder
of
if
that
all of them are
together
gonna be there
in a
every
well-planned
single time.
voyage, with a bit of luck, can be a very profitable endeavor. But with so much loot to claim, how are you going to get it all to the surface? Val has a solution for just that problem. In each of the charts that comprise your voyage, there will be a capsule waiting for you, sent down by Val, which can store about an inventory worth of loot. Stuff these full, send Val a signal, and she will pull it back up to the surface, safe and sound. Since voyages are built of 9 charts, that's a lot of opportunities to send back plenty of valuables.
That's kind of what I was
Once you're
wondering with
satisfied
the
with
little,
the plunder from your
icons.
well-planned voyage,
The contraband.
find any of these capsule locations and call the bathysphere to it as your ticket out.
Oh, so you
Val
can just
will
leave
send
whenever?
it down to your rescue, as fast as she can. You just need to survive until it gets there. Good luck. Once you do, don't forget to empty all those capsules full of loot.
It's kind of a neat looking
Now,
UI.
back to all that dead man sulfur that you've been hard at work gathering. Is that just to keep the Sovereign afloat and Vesper alight? No,
Yes.
it's not. Once you've got a bunch of it, head below decks, and you'll find the heart of the
Go
ship
in
at
the
work.
boat.
Whilst Vesper's body remains above deck, burning away
Above
in
what?
a contraption of tarnished pipes and corpse-stained glass resides Vesper's soul, and you'll find him to be a pretty crafty fellow, if a bit melancholy. That's where this league's item crafting system comes into play. Give Vesper an item, alongside a currency that you could normally use on that item, and an ample supply of Dead Man's Sulfur. That item is then split into a multitude of ghostly forms, each of which will be the result
So
of
it's
having
like,
applied that
budget
currency
lots.
to the original item. You can then pick which of the ghostly outcomes you like best
Can
to
you
keep
choose
for yourself.
not to do
The
that?
others will go up in smoke, as Vesper can only reify a single outcome. This can be done with almost any crafting step you'd like.
Almost?
Want to see a few outcomes for that influenced exalted orb? Perhaps you've got a particularly expensive fossil combination you want to get maximum value out of.
Yo, so what's
Do
this
be wary, though,
intangibility thing?
as the more potent the craft, the more sulfur Vesper will require to see it done. That's not all, however, as the seafloor hides some yet undiscovered potential in the
Hey,
form
yo.
of rare and valuable ducats. These can be consumed by Vesper to warp and twist items in ways not seen in centuries, such as Kishara's Ducat, which creates 4 ghostly copies of an item, each of
Oh,
which
it's
will
just
keep
every
one
single
mod from the
modifier.
original, perfect for creating powerful crafting bases. The Gentile's Ducat, which can solve item or gen
Yo, we
requirement
got-
problems by changing one attribute to another.
We got attribute swapping, huge.
And Brine Hook's Ducat,
Yeah, it's looking like those were
with
locks,
which you
basically.
can become an emissary of the gods of Rayclast. Who knows what these aspects might do? These
That's a good
Ducats
question.
come from special types of charts, so keep an eye out for them on your travels throughout Rayclast. You may even find some that lead you to notably unwelcoming waters.
Yo, there's a dude riding the
So
fish,
that covers
the eel
new
thing.
league. And for the first time in Path of Exile,
didn't
we're
notice that,
finally
dude.
going under the sea. Some might even say this is the first real boat league. But that's not all. Not even close. Next up, we've got an old favourite making a return. The Mercenaries of Trarthus are once again roaming Rayclast, looking for hapless fools to duel. Mercenaries will start appearing from Act 3
Bowling,
and
but no
Sun.
fishing.
Before
Kind of.
beginning a duel, you'll be offered an overview of the mercenary you've encountered. Here, you can see the gear they have equipped and the skills they employ. As per the
The recruit
Trarthan
button
code,
is still there. I was kind of
you
wondering if
have
it
the
was
right
just
to
going to be
wager for an
dueling.
item the mercenary is carrying. You'll stake some of your gold, and the duel commences.
Speaking of ZDPS builds.
If you lose, you forfeit the levied gold, and the mercenary will teleport out, repulsed at such a poor display. Win, however, and to the victor will go the spoils. In addition, if you win
Huge.
the duel, the mercenary will aid you as an ally for a number of areas.
They're
Trarthan
temporary.
mercenaries are powerful allies to have in Rayclast, assisting in a number of ways. Some mercenaries can provide you with powerful auras and buffs, while other mercenaries can do all the killing for you. While in map areas, if you don't like anything the mercenary offers, you have the ability to request their warrant. A warrant is a promise
You
to
got a license
return
for
a
that?
duel again at a later date. A call to action that calls that specific mercenary to a future map, with the same set of skills, but a new set of items. A mercenary will only grant their warrant once, however, preventing you from fighting that mercenary in every single area. Warrants also allow you to trade specific mercenaries to other players. It is important to note that unlike in Mercenaries of Trarthus League, having a mercenary does not count as a player party member. So having a mercenary does not increase monster life or the quantity and rarity of items dropped from monsters.
Honestly, that's probably fair.
Given that, you may be wondering, but what if I really like a mercenary I found? They have a great personality and powerful skills. Is there really no way I can keep them as an ally permanently? Well, you can, but only
Ayo.
if you are a Scion. For the second time in 6 months, the Scion is getting a new
So
ascendancy
that's what
class,
they're doing.
the Luminary. The Luminary is a natural leader, lighting the way for others to follow. Becoming a Luminary immediately lets them allocate the Noble Blood passive, allowing them to permanently
Wait,
hire
like,
any mercenary they
in the
find in
campaign?
reclassed. Luminaries can have up to 3 permanently hired mercenaries, 2 in reserve in towns and hideouts, and 1 as an active ally in combat.
Yeah,
Unlike
I mean,
with regular mercenaries, you can change the items permanently hired mercenaries have equipped, opening up
Can't say I've been-
innumerate potential build
yo,
possibilities.
it's the Spud. What's up, sir?
By default, permanently hired mercenaries cannot be equipped with unique items, but these passives enable them to equip specific types of uniques. While the legendary arms passive empowers mercenaries that have many different unique items equipped.
Okay.
Luminaries
What
have the
about the
flexibility of
other
becoming a
branches?
support character to their mercenary, or having their mercenary support them. The Oath of Fealty and Golden Glory passives empower your mercenary by using your link skills on them. The Loyal Bodyguard and Bestowed Knighthood passives enable your mercenary to protect you in combat, as well as
Yo,
enhancing
just
their aura
permataunt
skills.
on hit and aura skills.
As with any old league that we add to the core game, we have added full Atlas Tree and Scarab support. Here are just a few examples. These passives allow you to much more easily target the specific types of mercenaries you want showing up in your maps. The Loot and Pillage passive gives mercenaries a chance to drop all their items when defeated, instead of just the one you selected. The
We get a
Trarthan
bully?
Scarab of
Kinda, yeah.
Renown makes it so the spawned mercenary is covered
Boatest
head to
bully-
tail in
Yo.
unique items.
He's rich as
And
fuck.
the Trarthan Scarab of Infamy forces a more powerful, infamous mercenary to spawn, accompanied by 2 other mercenaries for a truly unfair duel. Unfair for them. There's even a
I guess
few
you still only
entirely
recruit
new
the one.
mercenary types, one of which is found exclusively on the seafloor in rare Curse of the Allflame encounters.
Kind of surprised they didn't use Tane's model for
Sellswords
that.
of Trarthus won't be the whole of your problems in 329, however, as the denizens of the Lightless are getting some much-needed updates with the modernization and rework of Abyss. When we brought Abyss over to Path of Exile 2,
Yeah,
Rise
show me
of
the
Abyssal,
gems. I want to
some
know about the
functional
sockets,
changes to
honestly.
the mechanic were made to improve the gameplay significantly.
Also, the
In
chat's
Curse of
not
the
on
Allflame,
screen. What
the
hell?
majority of those changes will be making their way back to Path of Exile 1.
What does that do?
The
there?
existing Abyss content had some notable problems. Aside from being very dated, it also required the player to follow a crack as it opens, often backtracking throughout already cleared areas.
Yeah, no one
Now,
wants to do that.
as you approach an abyssal pit, and the cracks leading up to it, you will find that it is already open and spilling forth abyssal energy into the surrounding area, subjugating the souls of enemies unlucky enough to be within its influence. Slaying these enemies will send those souls spiraling
seen
down
this
into
before.
the pit,
Yeah,
drawing
it's
the
Q2 of
attention
this.
and ire of the minions of Kulamark that dwell beneath. Slay enough of them, and the Abyssal Legion will spill
Hopefully
forth
the
from
boss
their
encounter
domains
is better,
to tear
though.
you apart.
Also, the performance.
The upshot of this rework is twofold. Firstly, there is now much more visceral feedback in the moment-to-moment gameplay of Abyss.
Get that screen shake
Audio
out of here.
and visual cues drawing the player along. And most importantly, you'll never need to chase a meandering abyssal crack around a map ever again. No more backtracking. However, be on your guard. The abyssal minions of Kulamak have some different tricks up their sleeves in PoE1.
I'm
and
so
many
glad I
employ entirely different skills.
I'm
to
so
those
glad
of
I
the
played
PoE2
without screen
counterparts.
shake. What is that?
To be clear, there are still some aspects of the existing abyssal system that we will be keeping.
Hey yo, what's that?
Abyssal jewels and items with abyssal sockets will remain. In fact, we have given Abyss a similar treatment to what we did with Dell fossils in our last release, moving abyssal rewards out of other areas of the game to make Abyss the exclusive source of abyssal jewels and Stygian vices.
Not gonna lie, I forgot that
This
was
will also come with a
thing they
complete
did last week.
refresh of abyssal scarabs and Atlas passive tree investment,
Love the
with
unique
some
abyss
truly
size. Yeah, I wonder if they're
dangerous
gonna rework
and
those as
wild
well.
new ways to take on the lightless hordes. Lastly for Abyss, but definitely not least, Abyss is bringing an entirely new endgame pinnacle boss, with its own set of brand new unique items.
Hey yo, new ones?
This boss has a very unique way of accessing it. What does this eyeball do? Good luck figuring this one out. Let's move on to
I
our
wonder.
next league being reworked.
Thank God it's
Legion.
not that Kulamak fight.
Every
from,
league should have distinct and
PoE2.
interesting rewards that are exclusively available from that mechanic. This allows players to specialize in certain corners of the game, rewarding those who engage with a given mechanic. Legion is next on our list to receive this treatment.
Despite having a unique combat
Still gonna
mechanic,
go Spectral
we
Shield
felt
Girl?
Legion didn't have interesting
I gotta see
exclusive
the
rewards
patch notes,
outside
honestly,
of
before I
timeless
decide.
jewels. While incubators were technically exclusive to Legion, they effectively granted the same rewards that you could get elsewhere. So, what are we doing about it? Firstly, incubators are being removed.
Honestly,
no
I thought
longer
they were
will you
kind of
have to
silly.
remember to apply incubators to all your equipment every few maps. Instead, we will be adding a new type of reward exclusive to Legion, the Stygial unique items. Legion generals and maps will have a chance to drop a new type of currency item, enshrouding crystals. These can be used on your unique armors. You can then take the enshrouded item to the domain of timeless conflict, which might look a little bit different to what you remember.
There's a few more
A
crystals in
giant crystal emerges from the center of the domain, and there appears to be some sort of entity trapped inside, potentially the reason that these armies are engaged in eternal conflict.
there. There's
At
an
the base
actual
of the
pinnacle
crystal
boss.
are a number of smaller crystals. Clicking on one allows us to place our enshrouded item inside. As we then kill monsters in the domain of timeless conflict, our gloves within the crystal begin to transform. And once you have killed enough, the crystal becomes volatile and looks ready to fracture. I wonder what will come out. Our Shaper's Touch transformed into a Malagero's Virtuosity. But now, the Malagero's Virtuosity has a trace of the original enshrouded item bestowed upon it, in the form of a vestigial implicit modifier. As you can see, enshrouding crystals allow you to transfer powerful modifiers from one unique item onto another.
Yo,
Here
yeah,
are
we'll
some
get the patch
more
notes today,
examples
Sean.
of vestigial unique items. Helmets,
what about belts?
boots,
What about belts?
gloves,
Belts?
shields,
Facebreakers with touch. Facebreakers
And
with Doriani's
body
touch,
armors.
though, actually.
In addition to vestigial items, we are also making a number of small
Foul bomb, but
improvements
you get to
Legion.
make it.
You no longer need to kill every
I think it's
last
kind of closer
monster
to the
begin
rune
Legion
that they
encounter.
added in PoE1.
Breaking out all
PoE2,
the key monsters,
that lets you like
chests,
turn a unique
and the
into
majority
a
of monsters
socketable.
will be enough to start the combat automatically. No more cheeky single monster hiding in the corner, preventing your encounter from starting. Legion monsters drop fewer splinters, but in larger stack sizes,
Let's
resulting in
go!
fewer clicks in each encounter. Unrelenting timeless emblems have been removed, with
Let's
regular
go!
timeless emblems absorbing many of their effects, causing the domain
Yeah,
of
yeah,
timeless
yeah.
conflict to become harder, but more rewarding as you kill monsters. Your reward progress in the domain is now tracked by charging up these small purple crystals, rather than flooding your screen with hundreds of reward icons. The rewards are still the
kinda
same,
like that, though.
just not obscuring your screen with symbols.
Talismans were introduced back in
it talismans?
2015.
Jump
But over
scared
the
me,
years,
honestly.
they've been long neglected and lack a meaningful place or purpose. We are making a number of changes to bring talismans back to relevance.
Firstly, talismans are now exclusive rewards from Bestiary. Every red beast has a chance to drop a talisman specific to that beast.
Okay.
For example, the Krashik Croaker can drop the Croaker
Hey,
Talisman.
yo.
What
Same.
makes these talismans special? Well, you'll notice a couple of
My
changes
brain
compared
reset
to
for a
old
second.
talismans. Firstly, talismans no longer drop corrupted, making
Okay.
them far easier to craft once you find one.
Slightly
Secondly,
easier, right?
the special modifiers on talismans are now enchantments, rather than implicits. This means they compete with blight anointments, allowing their effects to be significantly more powerful than before. Here are a few more
so you
examples
can't
of new
anoint them?
talismans. Talisman unique items have all been improved, and now have a chance to drop from all bestiary bosses. Check out the new Eyes of the Great Wolf Talisman, which has some crazy possibilities.
Hey, yo.
So that is everything covering the new and
Blight
reworked
anoints
league
are way
mechanics
cooler.
in 329.
Although, plus
Now,
1 max
there's
power
already
charge is
quite
just
a lot
for
of
free.
in-game content with Mercenaries returning,
And you could,
an upgraded Abyss, Legion's new reward
Yeah, I don't
mechanic,
know. I don't
and
know.
of course, everything the Curse of the Allflame League has to offer. But even with all of that, we're not done. Because what about
But
the
wait,
Atlas
there's more.
itself? Given Zana's actions to try and destroy it in the last 2 expansions.
Zana's actions are causing the Atlas to become ever more destabilized. Strange locations have begun to manifest on the Atlas,
Oh, so it's Zana's
many
fault.
of which seem to be bleeding over from familiar places in Rayclast. Kerak
You
has
just said
labeled
like that, but
these
if you pad
as
over to all of them,
anomalies.
and then you also
When
get
you
the
complete
blight,
maps affected by a
get
void stone,
the talisman.
there is a chance that when you next open your Atlas, an anomaly may manifest. Like this one, the Mana Foyer. Like regular maps on the Atlas, you can select them at your map device, but unlike regular maps, these don't require an item to enter. It looks like this area
No items.
is the abode of Cadero Perandus. Cadero is willing to offer
we got a new
valuable
portrait.
items
Nice.
in exchange for our gold.
For a split second,
If you
I thought
don't
that was
like what is
Beano's.
on offer, you can reject it, and he will immediately offer another item. The next offer
I feel
will
so bad
cost
for the,
more
the
gold,
first person to
but
re-roll over a
hopefully is
headhunter
much
or
more
a mage blood with
valuable
that.
to you. If you don't have enough gold for the offered item, don't worry. Cadero is happy to wait for you to replenish your coffers. You can return to the area at any time. The anomaly will not disappear from the Atlas until you either purchase an item or reject all his offers. Anomalies are unique in this regard. Unlike other locations on the Atlas, these areas can often be revisited.
Oh.
Let's quickly run through a few of the anomalies that can manifest. Reflecting Mists and the Nameless Seer no longer randomly spawn within maps, but instead now appear in their own anomaly areas. Scrying is no longer the domain of the Nameless Seer, but instead can be done through the new, tradable Scrying Orb.
Ayo.
Some anomalies grant a
Let's
taste
go,
of
that's
league
actually
mechanics
so
you might
huge.
not normally run, without having to be fully invested into them. For example, this anomaly creates a random, fully revealed heist blueprint wing, with random rogue companions. This anomaly has a version of the Sacred Grove, where the plants have fully taken over.
That's a lot of plants.
This strongbox seems to have a strange
Yo,
mechanism.
we got the gamble box.
Atlas anomalies are unaffected by your Atlas skill tree, and you can't augment them using any fragments. Therefore, they can be run at any
Harvest my
time
beloved, right?
without feeling like they have to be saved for later to maximize the potential rewards. There are many more Atlas anomalies to discover for yourselves, each of them tied to a specific Atlas quadrant. It is therefore worth discovering which ones can spawn in each part of the Atlas, as it may influence what Atlas strategy you wish to pursue.
The way that's wiggling is making me uncomfortable.
So that is a heap of new challenges to encounter, from the League and the in-game. But you may be asking, what new tools do we have to face these challenges? In 329, we are giving a bit of love to spellcasters.
Right.
Specifically, those that cast spells themselves. But
Spell
first,
casting?
let's address the elephant in the room that astute players may have noticed. Yes, I'm talking about those socket colors.
So,
That was my other
after
question.
the better part of 2 decades, in 329, we're making a fairly radical change. Sockets, at a basic level, don't have colors anymore. You can now put any colored gem into any socket. We're doing this to address a
You called the
long-running
socket
issue
color
for
thing?
both new and experienced players. I'm sure almost everyone who has played before has run into the issue of finding a notable upgrade and have struggled
okay.
to find a way to equip it. Maybe you find an amazing body armor, one that would give you a substantial boost to your defenses. but you just can't move your skill or support gems over because the colors of the sockets just don't match, and you didn't luck out with your chromatic orbs. It's not fun when you have to unequip a bunch of skills or supports just to use a better item. This can still happen with the socket numbers and socket links, so it's not like it's just purely trivial, but the colors were just unnecessary. And not only prevented upgrading gear, it limited build experimentation.
Yeah, so what's up with the ones that still have
given
colors?
that, what do the colors on gems with regards to sockets even now
That's
mean?
a good question, Mark.
Well, the colors on gems for sockets are still relevant, just as an upgrade system. You can still find items with colored sockets, and you can craft them onto items. They are just rarer and more powerful. Most importantly, they don't restrict what can be socketed into them. So how are they more powerful? Well, if you were to find an item with, say, a green socket, you can put a green gem inside of it to get an additional quality bonus to that gem.
10%.
This allows socket colors to be a purely positive outcome on an item, while not just simplifying
Okay, so what
the
about light
system away.
sockets? That's a good. That's also. I think they're probably
You can also still
the
change
bad
the color
outcome.
of sockets on your items using a chromatic orb, which now guarantees at least one red, blue, or green socket. This change will make it easier for everyone to upgrade items and maintain their build, especially while progressing. Speaking of builds and gems,
10%
we
is way
wanted to
more
make
than I
sure
would've
we
thought.
improve some of those, specifically for spellcasters. Let's get into that. Spellcasters have a large number of different skills to choose from, but often many skills play and scale in similar ways. We have done a pass through existing spells, differentiating spell damage types from each other. For example, Shadow's physical spells, like Ethereal Knives and Bladefall, now have a much higher critical strike chance than other spells at the expense of damage. Pure Lightning spells now all have generally higher cast speeds, but they cost more mana per second than other spells. We noticed that some of the Ascendancy classes for Shadow, Witch, and Templar were lacking options for general spellcasting, so we've added a new notable to the Assassin,
Yo, bifurcated.
the Occultist, and the Inquisitor. We are also introducing a new skill, Mana-Infused Staff, that infuses
they
your
got the
staff
Overlord
with arcane
MTX.
energy, raising your block chance and reducing the mana cost of your spells. In addition, when you are hit by an enemy, you retaliate with a wave of arcane lightning, dealing damage based on your maximum mana.
Oh, yeah, that too.
One of the struggles we noticed with certain self-cast archetypes was that they lacked a scaling option in the endgame. In 329, we're adding a special new set of exceptional skill gems called Pacts. Each pact is themed around a specific Beyond demon and Lycia.
And Lycia.
You can make a bargain with these demons
We
to
gotta
empower
include
your
her.
spells. But at what cost, you may ask? Well, these spells don't have a typical cost, but instead cause the player to gain a special affliction debuff. Don't worry too much though, the rewards will be worth it. For example, Pact of Baydat causes many of your different spells to just cause a ruckus, while Pact of Gore is for dot builds. Using this pact will plague your enemies. Just cast it and watch everything around you melt. I wonder what Pact of Lycia and Pact of Katash do.
We won't go into the specifics of all the balance changes we are making here, but there are many more caster improvements, including buffs to specific spells and supports, buffs to caster unique items, as well as more and better ways to solve mana. Check out the patch notes later for all the details.
Next up, we're going to be talking
The
about
real
the new
important
supporter
part.
packs for Curse of the
You
Allflame.
can play Luminary with some bad
Today,
PS.
we're launching
Sounds
two
like a
new
solid
series
plan.
of supporter packs, the Plague and Remedis packs.
Yo, Plague looks kind of sick. I
Each
can't
tier
lie.
contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions
surprised there's
in
not
these
a- they're
packs
not
are
like a
purely
little more
cosmetic and do not affect your
Guyver-themed.
character's power or progression in any way.
Show them on
Plague
Phoenix.
series of
True.
supporter packs contains 7
Yo, look at
exclusive
the rat.
microtransactions. Equipping the Plague weapon skin replaces the default appearance of your staff, sword, mace, or shield with a weapon that has been submerged in corrosive toxins. The plague rat pet
Yo, it's
is
the
the result
$30.
of a nefarious experiment.
It's kind of
When a
tempting.
unique enemy is nearby, it feints as a defensive mechanism to protect its fragile body so it
Play
can
dead.
continue to spread disease. The metal of the Plague Bearer armor set has corroded, and the cloth has begun to disintegrate from being exposed to such toxic elements. It includes the Plague Bearer back attachment, which spreads disease across the ground in town areas, maximizing the chance
Oh
of
yeah,
infection.
I love loading
A
times.
diseased swarm infects your weapon when using the Plague Bearer weapon effect. Use it alongside the Erupting Pustule's rare finisher effect to spread vile and devastating disease to monsters you kill. Activating the Plague Wraith map device causes the plagued energy to flow from the
Was this
chained
Diablo?
being. Given the goal of spreading such illness is to end the lives of as many as possible, the map device tracks kills in kind, showing you the number of enemies killed in each map, sorted by rarity. Feel free to even pin the count of enemies slain in a map to the leaderboard at your leisure. Pair it with the putrefying portal to fully immerse yourself in the Plague Propagator experience. Both the map device and the portal emit such a potent putrefaction that even the birds flying overhead cannot survive, as they plummet to the ground around
Is
them.
that what those? That's what those impacts are.
The Remedis Pack series also contains 7 exclusive microtransactions. The Remedis weapon skin changes the appearance of your staff, wand, scepter,
It's kind of funny
or
seeing a
shield,
PoE2 roll
with
in
relics
PoE1.
once used by the Order of the Remedis Knights against the plague. The Medi Roa pet is kitted out with all the supplies necessary.
I'd be tempted to
for
buy that
healing
and
in
just put it
remote
on for mud
locations.
flats to rub it in the faces of the
Strangely,
old school rowers.
these rowers seem to have a particular fondness for goblin meat.
They eat the goblins.
The Remedis Knight
Oh
armor set
no.
is bestowed upon those tasked with traveling through Rayclast
That's
to purge
that's
the
pay to
sick
win
of their
right there.
diseases. The matching back attachment cleanses the disease left behind on the ground in town areas by the Plague Bearer back attachment. It's an important job of a Remedis Knight to not let disease take over. Help by doing your part.
This is the
Remedis Knight weapon
anti-MTX
effect
MTX.
funnels the divine power of purification into your weapon. Return to the Saints' End Monastery hideout to recuperate from your
It's kind
purifying
of a sick
duties.
hideout though.
Once a thriving center for curing ailments, this monastery has slowly wasted away while lying
Yeah,
unused.
it's pretty sick.
If you're feeling brave enough, there's even a platform to dive
What?
into the purifying waters below before washing back up at the base of the hideout. Last, but not least, use the Reservoir of Benediction Affinity Stash to store all of your elixirs.
Yo, that's a stash? I
This
thought
stash
that for
opens
sure
to
that
your
was
stash
a
tab with the Flask
map
Affinity
device.
set.
Some
Additionally,
beach.
all
No link
microtransactions from
required.
the supporter packs are available for use in Path of Exile 2. We're looking forward to seeing which of you choose to become the plague and spread disease across Rayclast, or those
That
who
would
wish
be
to
me for
fight
sure.
against it by becoming a Remedis Knight. Thank you so much for your ongoing support.
We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. Afterwards, we'll post the full patch notes for Path of Exile, Curse of the Allflame, at 11 AM New Zealand time, 4 PM Pacific.